call to order our call meeting of the Ware County Board of Commissioners of Monday, October 28th, 2019 at 4:30 p.m. Commissioners, I will waive the roll call with the invocation of pledge of allegiance due to the fact that we're still in order. And we'll get right into our agenda. Do I need a motion to approve our agenda?
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. Begin with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carter.
Aye.
Commissioner Pope.
Aye.
Commissioner Barner.
Aye.
Commissioner Nelson.
Aye. And
the chair votes aye. All right, Mr. Manager, item 8.
Okay, under tab 8 is to approve a quitclaim deed for Red Hill Cemetery. I'll get it right just a minute. Red Hill Cemetery, a quitclaim deed from Ware County to the Okefenokee Heritage Center for an abandoned cemetery.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the claim deed presented to us.
I second.
I got heard Commissioner Nelson first. Okay, any questions to the manager? I know this has been a long time coming, and I know those folks are excited about it. That's a cemetery that's got lost in the wilderness, so to speak. And these people, with a lot of help that's forthcoming through some grants and stuff, they're gonna redo that cemetery and bring it back up to its present day status. And I'm excited about it because they got graves there that's over, well, back in the 1800s. And I'm excited, and we need to reverence those dead. It's big. All right. Any further statements or questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, give it a roll call vote, begin with Commissioner Nelson.
Aye.
Commissioner Pope.
Aye.
Commissioner Barner.
Aye.
Commissioner Carter.
Good. Aye.
And the chair votes aye. All right, item B, Mr. Manager.
Okay, under tab B is a request from Sheriff Randy Royal to purchase 5 Chevrolet Tahoe Pursuit vehicles from Hardy Chevrolet on state contract in the amount of $166,015 to be paid out of the 2014 SPLOST.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Okay, any questions or further discussion for the manager?
What's your motion? That we approve this request for the 5 cars.
I just didn't hear the motion, Mr.
Under discussion, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say, I was gonna mention it at the work session, but I remember years ago, before we started the splosh when I was elected, that, cars worked, sometimes they didn't. And this has been the best thing since sliced bread.
Amen.
Started purchasing the cars using splosh funds on a rotation basis to 5 new ones and get rid of the old ones, and now we have a fleet of vehicles that are reliable. And we talked about some of the vehicles having hundreds of thousands of miles on it, but that's driving miles. And most of the police cars, as Steve knows, former deputy, most of them are just idling miles, just as bad. So this is something that's really been a help to this county, and I'm hoping that we can continue to put public safety on our splash programs.
And it's cut back on thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of maintenance expense. By new fleets.
And on what Commissioner Nelson said,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
back in the late 80s and early 90s, whenever I started out at the sheriff's office, them cars we had back then, I mean, stop signs in the floorboards, them holes. If it come rain, you'd have to put on your rain check when water poured in above the windshield up there. Just come a long ways. And, we just need to keep this block going. Let's make people fit, load it in. Don't get back.
That's a lot of miles, 180,000 miles.
199,000.
When I retired from DOT, I had a Plymouth Fury assigned to me, and it had 289,000 miles when I retired. And I don't know if they retired it or not when I retired. They needed to.
Okay, Any more comments? Hearing none, begin with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carter,
Aye.
Commissioner Barner,
Aye.
Commissioner Nelson,
Aye.
Commissioner Pope, and the chair votes aye. Item C, Mr. Manager.
Okay, under tab C is an award for the generator maintenance bid for $8,020 annually for calendar year 2020 to Coward Electric. And this can be renewed for an additional 2 years.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the bid by, Coward Electric for the generator maintenance.
Okay, do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Barner. Okay, any questions for the manager? I think, this company has done a real good job, and they've been there for us for a good many years, so they do a good job.
Yeah, they do a very good job, very responsive, even when we need them in emergency situations.
Yeah. Okay, we'll begin with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Nelson.
Aye.
Commissioner Barner.
Aye.
Commissioner Pope. Commissioner Carter.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Item D, Mr. Manager.
Okay, under tab D is resolution 2019-13. It's a resolution to approve the authorization to file the section 5311 transit application with the Georgia Department of Transportation for our rural transit program.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Aye. So moved.
Okay, I got a motion.
Second.
Got a second, Mr. Nelson. Okay, any further questions or comments for the manager on this?
Mr. Manager, what is the total cost of this to the county? I know we got
It's a 10% match. I wanna say that the amount is somewhere around $10,000 to $12,000 annually for us, our own cost.
Cheap.
Which is cheap. The majority of money, 90% of it comes from federal funds.
Did they give you some statistics of how it's used, or?
I've seen some a few months ago, but I do know, I was kind of shocked when I saw the numbers of how many people actually use it. I had no idea, but it's highly used in Ware County.
I think a lot of people use it to get to work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I see them carry.
Yeah, and the elderly use it for doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, those kind of things. That's what, and they keep records of that, and that's kind of what I was shocked by, but it's highly used. More than what you would actually think.
Well, some of the elderly even do their shopping. They're not able to drive,
That's right.
and so they call them and they care of shopping.
Sure.
So it's a worthwhile project
Yeah.
for this county to be part of.
It's a good payback.
Yes, sir.
How many bands you got working on?
I think it's 5 or 6. I think it's 6.
Really?
Yeah, quite a few.
Okay, any more questions or comments for the manager? Hearing none, begin with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Nelson.
Aye.
Commissioner Barner.
Aye.
Commissioner Pope. Commissioner Carter.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Commission comments. Mr. Pope, got any comments?
Yeah, I got a message here. I just curious as to if y'all know where it came from. Hold on a minute. This is a message, a text message apparently went out to people in Manor. It says Congressman Buddy Carter will be in Waycross on Monday, October 28th at 3 o'clock to discuss the need for a permanent fire station in Manor. The meeting will be at the administration building in Waycross. This is very important for our community in the surrounding area. Please plan to attend. Thanks. And how was Mr. Carter scheduled to come and talk about the Manor Fire Station?
They probably said my name, and it said Buddy Carter. Yeah.
Congressman Buddy Carter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I had been asked to say something about it, and that's probably what that is, a mix-up.
So you're Congressman,
No, far from it. In fact, I'm not really a good commissioner yet.
I just wondered, it's kind of odd, all those people show up, Buddy Carter's supposed to be here. That's all for me, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Commissioner Neville.
So just a real quick, we have Halloween coming up this week. Just want to make sure everyone's safe. I'm speaking to, I guess, paper and the Facebook, live folks, and be safe. We have a lot of kids trick or treating and running out in the streets and things like that, so just wanna make sure we're safe.
Was we gonna talk in executive session about Jamestown, ABC and Needham Road, or you gonna talk about it in your comments?
On the ABC, we can't, but the other one is that we can talk about in executive session. There was, the ABC, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brendan, that they were still making the revisions, and we're still waiting on a core. Is that not correct?
The paperwork has been submitted to the court,
Yeah.
and we had incorporated most of the revisions with the last submittal that Trent made to CSX. The revisions, there was some work to a signal cabinet we were trying to avoid because of the cost that's incurred with that. You can't just run, 4 foot of wire and make a splice connection. It has to be a whole new wire if you wanna raise or move those signal cabinets at all. So with that, the cost being $250,000 ballpark to move a cabinet, we went back to the drawing board to make some changes to the alignment vertically and horizontally to avoid those signal cabinets. And therefore, it's not gonna require as much engineering on CSX's part. So that PE agreement was gonna be revised and resubmitted to us. And so we should be getting a new PE agreement for the southern portion. So they won't be having to design a new signal cabinet or replace that signal cabinet. It'll be a lot less. As soon as I get that, I'll get that in front of y'all.
So then the next step was submit it to Corps of Engineer?
It's already been submitted.
Been submitted.
Yes, sir.
That's what we need.
Have we ever purchased that property at Waco?
No, sir, they're still doing appraisals. I checked on it Friday. I think he said he needed another 5 to 6 days to do it. Same one that's doing the appraisal on or doing the title search on the rail spur.
Okay. Is that the same one that's doing the sidetrack too?
Yes, sir. That one,
What side track is that?
that spur, rail spur.
What spur is that?
The one right there on US one.
Going back
Oh,
to
okay.
the-
Trying to find out who owns it. That's the problem. Okay, where we at? Got anything else?
No, I just hope we can accomplish what we've already said.
I just wanna, put a plug in. I know there's a lot of pros and cons out on Facebook and everywhere else about this loss. This is not penny number 10, as people's telling. This is a penny we've had, splash penny we've had since the year 2000. And it has generated millions of dollars worth of revenue much needed for this community to do things. And we sit in one right here. It buys patrol cars, it buys dump trucks, it pays the leases on motor graders, it buys new fire trucks, and the list goes on and on and on. It's the best deal for the taxpayers could ever imagine for. And I hope that people will get out and vote. Just go vote. That's all I ask people to do. I can't tell them to vote for it or vote against it, but I can tell you the need is there, and it does not need to discontinue. It's gonna hurt bad for people if it happens. And
Well, the wording of the vote says it's a renewal.
but these people saying that it's a new penny, a 10, penny number 10.
The terminology says renewal, tax renewal.
But anyhow,
Yeah.
somebody for that, anybody else, anything to say? All right, and I need to entertain a motion here to go into executive session, Mr. Manager. I'll let you complete what we're gonna go into executive session.
For litigation, I'm sorry. Possible litigation.
Make a motion that we enter to executive session for, possible litigation.
Okay, got a motion?
Second.
Got a motion and a second? All in favor of aye?
Aye.
Okay, we'll get into the side room right there. thank you, Ms. Myers, for coming.